It's a fucking Christmas tree!
Okay, in this video we're gonna do another reaction video to 15 scariest urban legends. Let's get to it! By Dojan Danger.
From stories you can't even talk about without dying, to girls living in shadows waiting to drag you to hell. We got 15 scary stories.
She's sexy.
Number 15. The White Death. A story from Scotland about a little girl who hated life so much to the point that she wanted to destroy everything and everyone. I think it's part of my dog's face by accident. She committed suicide, and a few days later, each member of her family were murdered.
Actually, I farted in his face.
Torn apart. The legend goes that upon learning about the girl's death, her ghost finds you and knocks on your door, slowly knocking louder and louder until you open it and she kills you. Number 14. The tale goes, a kid is sleeping in her bed when she hears the sound of tap water, so she heads over to the faucet and tries to plug it up. When she returns to the bed, she lets her arm drape over the side to let her dog lick her fingers, which it does. The dripping continues, but not from the faucet. She checks her shower only to discover her dead dog, dripping blood, with a note on top that reads,
"Lick your hand then!"
Lick too. Number 13. Cowhead, a Japanese legend about a story so haunted that simply telling it usually leads to death. One group of students were taken on a field trip, and on the bus, the teacher decided to tell a scary story. As he begins the story called Cowhead, he gets more intense and involved, foaming at the mouth. The students yell for him to stop, but he can't. All of them were later found with the bus in a ditch, all foaming in a sort of trance. All of them had blocked out the Cowhead story and wouldn't even discuss it afterwards. Some even died a few days later. Number 12. Cosmetic Sesame, a South Korea story about a girl super conscious of her own looks. She heard about a new beauty treatment involving soaking alongside sesame seeds in bath water. She decided to give it a go in her own bath, but several hours later her mother got worried and forced open the door when her daughter refused to open it for her. She was horrified to find the girl crouched in a corner of the room with seeds lining every wrinkle and pore in her body, roots visibly growing inside her skin while she attempted to painfully remove them one by one. Number 11. Girl from the Gap. The spirit of a Japanese girl who lives between the darkened gaps of furniture, doors, and drawers, waiting for you to meet her gaze. She will then ask you to play hide and seek, and the next time you meet her, she will pull you into the gap and drag you to either hell or an entirely new dimension. Number 10. Midnight Game. A game for kids like Bloody Mary, but with rules far more convoluted and terrifying. Before midnight, you write your name on paper and dot it with your own blood. You turn off all the lights, place the paper in front of a closed door, put a candle on top of that and light it. Then knock on the door 22 times with the 20-second knock at exactly midnight. Then open the door, blow out the candle and close it again. Relight the candle and the game begins. The Midnight Man will wander through your home. If he catches you, you will die. The game ends at 3:33 AM, but the Midnight Man may not actually leave after the game ends. Number 9. The Choking Doberman, an Australian legend about a couple who came home one night only to find their dog choking on something. The man panicked and actually fainted while the woman races off to the vet to get a dog seen to. She returns home to check on her husband when the phone rings. She picks it up only to find the vet hysterical, saying she needs to get out of the house now. As she and her husband run downstairs, a policeman passes them claiming the dog was choking on a man's finger, that the intruder might still be in their home, and sure enough, they found a burglar unconscious in the bedroom. Number 8. Nopperabo, a Japanese creature that likes to frighten humans. It will appear in your life as an ordinary human being, usually impersonating someone close to you. As you let down your guard around the creature, it quickly drops its facade, causing its face to disappear, leaving a blank, smooth sheet of skin where the face should be. This creature was the original inspiration for the monster we know today as Slenderman. Number 7. Hello Kitty Murder. A 1999 Hong Kong abduction of this 23-year-old woman by 3 men, held captive for a month and tortured relentlessly every day. In the end, she died. Her body was chopped up and disposed in the trash. her head sewn inside a Hello Kitty doll, which became a press icon for the case.
Wasn't she the one
A
who...
13-year-old girlfriend of one of the culprits complained to the police that the ghost of the murdered woman visited her frequently, and upon checking CCTV, the police noticed ghostly female forms wandering the streets. The criminals were given life sentences. Number 6, Black Volga. A story coming in from Poland about a black Volga car frequently spotted on the streets in the 1960s, supposedly driven by kidnappers looking to steal children. According to legend, Soviet officers would drive similar cars in Moscow during the 1930s to kidnap young girls for sexual pleasure. Nowadays, people have claimed this black Volga to be driven by priests, vampires, or even Satan himself. Number 5. Tiki Tiki, a Japanese schoolgirl that fell onto train tracks and was cut in half, her legs and half her torso torn clean off. She was supposedly returned as a vengeful spirit carrying a blade, travelling around on her hands and elbows, all the while making the dreaded scratching noise as she drags along the ground on her upper torso. Tiki Tiki. She attacks people too slow to run away, slicing them in half with her blade, just as she had been sliced by the train. Number 4. Midnight Bus, an old Chinese tale about a man boarding a bus at midnight alongside an old man. At the time, the bus was empty aside from these two, but after a while, 2 more passengers entered the bus and sat down. The old man immediately jumped up and accused the other man of stealing his wallet, which he denied. He suggested they jump off the bus and go to the police station, but the man found when they did indeed get off the bus that the old man wasn't angry. He said, "I just saved both our lives." He then claimed the other 2 passengers that just came on had been floating, that they were ghosts, and when the midnight bus was finally found days later, all inside were dead and the petrol tank filled with blood. Number 3.
Is that a gas tank?
The Woman, a legend found in both Japanese and Chinese cultures about a samurai's wife who cheated on her husband, only for him to find out and slit her mouth from ear to ear. It goes that she still wanders the earth, dressed in a surgical mask, asking people, "Am I pretty?" To which she then rips off the mask and repeats the same question. Anyone who doesn't respond positively is slaughtered by the slit-mouthed woman. Number 2. Mainak Phra Kanong, an 1800 story from Thailand about a woman called Nak, married to a man named Tit.
Creepy.
He was called away by the army just as she got pregnant, and while he was gone, she died during childbirth, killing both herself and her child. When Tid returned, he found her and their child's ghost, pretending to still be alive, fooling him. Nak would go around killing any neighbors that might inform Tid that she and her baby were actually dead. Eventually, Tik realized the truth, and Nak was sealed in a jar to be thrown in the canal, until she was eventually released from her prison and vanished. Number 1. The Greek Soldier, a legend from World War II about a Greek soldier returning from the war to marry his fiancée. Before he could, rebel Greeks captured him, tortured him, and eventually murdered him. During the 1950s, rumors grew of a handsome soldier seducing beautiful virgin girls and impregnating them. After the babies were born, he would disappear and leave a note explaining he had to spread his seed that his sons might avenge him. That's it for this countdown. And have a good one!
Oh.
That is pretty good. Wanna watch another?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which
one is this?
We
Biggest unsolved mysteries.
might not have enough time for this one. It's like 8 minutes. Not in 10 minutes. Ooh, this one.
Danger Dolan. From mythical high-jumping demons stalking the streets of London to shadow people living just on the edge of your vision, we count 15 examples of terrifying creatures ever to supposedly exist on our planet. Number 15. Chupacabra. A beast from Puerto Rico that, if reports are to be believed, hunts down farm livestock, drags them away, and drains their blood through small incisions. According to eyewitness accounts, it's around the size of a monkey, hops around like a kangaroo with red eyes, quills, and possibly wings. The sightings were so widespread across Mexico, Texas, and South America that one newspaper claimed a creature was caught alive and then handed over to US officials, but this was never proven. Number 14. The Drury Lane Ghost. This is a very specific ghost found in the Drury Lane Theatre in London. And strangely enough, it's a welcomed ghost. In fact, its appearance is considered the highest compliment if it materializes following a successful show. It's been reported that the ghost comes dressed in 18th century clothes with a long cloak, sword, and powdered wig. possibly connected with a skeleton wearing a riding coat with a knife in its chest found inside theatre walls. Number 13. The Banshee. A screech in the night.
I've heard that.
You jump out of bed and you look out the window, only to see a blue transparent woman dressed in a dark grey hooded cloak staring back at you. It's the sign that you're gonna die soon, an ancestral spirit appointed to forewarn you of your imminent death. If a bunch of them get together to let out a wail across the night, it's meant to signal the death of someone holy or of otherwise great importance. Number 12. Deloy's Ape. This is the story of Francois Deloys and a group of other people who were searching for oil on the borders of Colombia when their numbers diminished due to disease and attacks by native tribes. According to the survivors who made it back, they encountered two large primates, one male, one female, who began howling at the group and throwing their own feces. They shot the female and forced the male to flee back into the woods. This photo is apparently the only one they ever took of the ape. Number 11. Horned Demon Cat. A story from World War II set inside a derelict house in London, upon which Howard
Hellcat,
hiding from German aircraft, was jumped by a tabby-striped cat that had a skull with two giant horns sticking out and red flaming eyes. It jumped into the next room and vanished on the spot, its ungodly howl still echoing throughout the house. Howard made some inquiries and found that the house had a previous occupant that practiced black magic on cats before he hung himself, and that others had seen demon cats in the same area before. Number 10. Dover Demon. An alien-like creature only seen for a couple of days in the town of Dover, Massachusetts in 1977. According to a variety of eyewitnesses who encountered it, it was a goat-sized white creature with a watermelon-shaped head, bright glowing eyes, slender fingers and no ears, nose, mouth, or sexual traits of any kind. It crawled all over town before vanishing forever, with popular theories being an infant alien, or a genetically defected creature infant, or a hoax. Number 9. Shadow People. An encounter all of us have experienced at least once.
I have!
Shadow just on the edge of your vision while you're in bed, but when you turn around it disappears.
How?
Just explain
That's
most
what happened
of
to
the
me.
ways
I was in
caused
bed
by
and
sleep
I saw that.
deprivation or a side effect of drugs.
Oh.
But there might have been examples of people near death who cry about shadow people approaching, only for them to choke to death on nothing. And considering how much we don't know about dark matter in our universe, it's possible there might be more to it than you think. Number 8. Mothman. It was a 13-month period in the mid-1960s that we find the Mothman, a 7-foot-tall, scaly flying Mothman who eats large dogs and has mind powers. The rumor goes it can channel information to a person's mind, allowing them to receive ultra-terrestrial prophecies. Over 100 people saw the Mothman, and 1 year later, the old silver bridge collapsed, with many believing it had come to warn them about the bridge. The story of the Mothman was also fictionalized for the movie The Mothman Prophecies, which explains its
like something like
depth than I ever thought. Number 7. Bloody Mary. You'll either know about this one from your childhood or from one of the Paranormal Activity movies.
No.
How it works is you stand in front of a mirror and chant the name Bloody Mary at least 3 times.
With the
And
lights
it's
off.
believed she will appear to rip your face off, pull her out your eyes, drive you insane, abduct you into the mirror, or just plain kill you. Naturally, she's not giving you a huge incentive to chant her name. Some believe that if you do survive the encounter, she will haunt you for the rest of your life. Pretty much a bad deal all around. Number 6. Little creatures. Often compared to a real-life version of hobbits, little mole people who live in a secret world that we can't see. They're described as hairy, tiny, 10-inch human-like beings who surface to paralyze humans and steal their food or belongings. Around the world, we hear stories about their appearance from Mexico